Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I thought I'd start a little mini series of just in React.js of me trying to like replicate some famous applications. So I thought I'd start off with Spotify because I think it seems really nice. And I'm going to break this video down into loads of small chunks. So it might be like an ongoing thing. But yeah, I'm going to like try to tackle the Spotify like interface and try to replicate that in React.js. And yeah, well, let's just get straight to it. I'm going to open up item to begin with, and then I'm going to do npx create React app. So I'm just going to initiate the default project. Um, and while that's doing it, what I'm going to do is in the Spotify interface, I'm going to just have a look at it. I'm going to do Command Control C, no Command Shift C. I'm going to click it, and then it's going to allow me to browse the like HTML and the CSS. And I just want to, this is a little trick that I usually do, is I just type in color here and I just do red. And then it allows me to use the color select tool, to which I can then click the background. And then I know exactly what color they've used. So I've got that one ready for when the app finally starts. Cool, that's finished. I'm going to open it up in my VS Code by doing the shorthand. And I also want to install Sass, so I'm going to do npm install node sass, node-sass -save. I'm going to leave that go in the background. 2 seconds. We cancel that, I was in the wrong directory. cd Spotify. Now I'll run the node sass in that. And I'll have to wait for that to finish now. Okay, so I'll open that up in my VS Code. And firstly, I'm going to clear out the app.js, get rid of the header. And I'm also going to add an S to the end of the app CSS file because on the start of the CSS, I mean, because now the CSS file is going to be an SCSS file. Then rename this to SCSS. That's going to allow us to use Sass as soon as this is finished. We can also start clearing out the CSS file. And I'm going to declare some colors at the top. So I'm going to do gray, dark, because I think that's the darkest color on the page. And I'm going to take the, let's just do it again. So that's the dark grey colour. I'm going to do grey, light, and then I'm going to take that colour, so slightly lighter. I'll just probably name it grey light 2 or light down. Then take this grey colour By the way, this video is completely like raw, so if I do make any mistakes, then I haven't got like something that I'm using as a guide apart from the actual Spotify app. What else? Okay, that's done now. So let's just do npm start. So as you can see, we just got a default. Well, it's a plain page now because we've deleted everything. But yeah, it's just the basic React app. One more thing I want to do. I'm not going to copy all the CSS, by the way. I'm going to just do it myself, simplify it. I just want to see if so they're using circular font. I'll come back to the font later. Yeah, we'll sort that later. I just want to get the layout done to begin with. So let's go back to the design. I'm just going to bring my window down so I can see what's going on. The way I begin is I usually look at the HTML elements that I'm going to need, and I can see that they've split the screen here, and then they've got like this container where the things load, and then they've got this like music bar on the bottom. So I'm not going to like, I'll try to make it work for desktop first, and then if it's good we can move to mobile. But yeah, to begin with, I'm going to make this left sidebar. So let's make a component called navbar, and actually I'm going to just do it as a div now, so, and then we'll move it into the components later, just so we can get the UI out. And then at the top, and let's do logo. And then we've got like the sort of UL. And let's just do home search. Your library. And I'm going to put a div above this, so it's sort of like an outer wrap. Make my code a bit bigger so you guys can see. So we've got the main outer wrap now. And then we've got the app, which is going to be this like upper part. And then we have underneath, we'll just call it music controls. And for the outer wrap, the CSS file, I'm going to do height 100 view height, min height 100%. And let's just put a background grey dark on it. So we've got the full-sized background. I'll tell you what, let's just do it as like a light grey, so I can work and build the nav so that we can actually see what's going on. Then this app, because I only want it to be this height, and this is going to be fixed at the bottom. What I want to do is I want to give it a height of height calc. I'm going to do 100 view height minus this height in pixels. So I like to do the screenshot tool and then just act as if I'm taking a screenshot and say it's like 90 pixels high, and I'll do minus 90. I think they should work anyway. And let's just do background red just so we can see how it's going along. Yeah, so now we'll have the music controls on the bottom, and then we'll have this there, and then this should stay like this all the way to the top, which is perfect. Obviously I'm not going to keep it as the red color, but it's just I like to do that so I know exactly why my element is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it as this grey light color. Grey light. And also let's just set the music controls. So dot music controls. Background grey lighter. And text align center. And we need to set this as a fixed height because we want to take the remaining 90 pixels of the page which hasn't got a div, and then color that in. We could also do this as display flex and do align items center and justify items, or I never get this one right. Okay. Might be content. Yeah, okay, cool. And I'll just put a color white on there for now. So let's just work on building this side nav. Let me just have a think. So I'm guessing this is like a, yeah, that's going to be a fixed width. So within nav, app, sorry. Actually, I'm going to do it outside because we don't know if things are going to change in the future. We'll do width of 200 pixels and height 100%. Background grey dark. Starting to look good already. Okay, so theirs might be slightly bigger than ours. So let's just do 250 pixel. And I might like make a mock-up of a logo later and just put it in there. But I wonder if they've got, if this is a PNG, it's an SVG. Let's just see what's going on. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to target the SVG inside the logo, and then I'm going to put a fill of white on the path. So look at, if we go back to the the HTML, just going to do logo, SVG, path, fill it as white, and also let's just do a padding of 2rem. So this is going to give 1.5 rem of padding above and under, and then 3 on the side. Actually, we want let's set a max width of 130 pixels on the logo. Cool. Yeah, so now let's just tackle this navigation. Actually, let's just move the nav bar out into its own component now before it gets too out of hand. So in my files, I'm going to make a folder called components. I'm going to make a new file called nav.js. Keep it simple. Import React from React. Const nav, then arrow function it. Export default nav, then return, and then paste all my nav bar in there. This can also be broken down into different components, but I'm just going to do that as I go along. And then let's import the nav from components. Okay, that didn't. Let's just test this. I think it's pulled it in. Yeah. Okay, I just put a fill on this on the element in line instead. I think it's because I'm not sure, to be honest. Okay, let's leave it as it is. Hope I'm not going to get sued for using their logo. Okay. Now let's conquer the navigation itself. So let's hit UL inside navbar. I'm just going to style, I'm not going to put anchor links on it yet because we're going to be using React Router. So there's going to be setting up a link element. The markup might be a bit different. Oh, that's not even white, is it? So let's check the text color. I usually use like a different, like my DevTools is a bit different to this. I'm just using it in a guest window, so I don't get any like interference. And I've got like tons of like Chrome extensions and stuff, which are quite distracting. Okay, this is the color. I'll just do grey text. These could probably be labeled a bit better, to be honest, but who cares? Okay, let's just do list style type. None. And let's just do padding. Actually, let's remove margin 0 on the UL and padding 0. And as you can see, the nav by itself has got some sort of like 10 pixels padding going around it. So let's just add 10 pixels there. And this is also got a bit of a border radius. 5 pixels padding. Let's just do a cursor pointer just so it looks a bit like it actually does something. And then on hover, let's just do color white, transition, color. Now let's just do transition all, 3 seconds. Okay, our padding is a bit too much. Needed that. Raw streaming doesn't get better than that. Okay, and the selected class has got the light grey background on it. So if I just do @.active, then do background grey, I think it's grey lighter. Now let's go back to our component and let's add a class name, active. So we can now see starting to look a bit similar. I think their font is a little bit smaller. That's a bit too small. Also, I can see that this isn't in line as it should be. So yeah, let's just get rid of the side padding and see what happens. Okay, yeah, I removed the side padding, it looks much better. Okay. So let's make the nav bar slightly smaller, let's say 220. Well, let's actually look what they've got it as. $228. Also, it seems like they've got a bit more padding there as well. Okay, so let's go back down to our allies. Let's do padding not 8 rem. Then add up the logo. Okay, that looks a bit better. It's not spot on, but they've also got this cookies and privacy thing at the bottom. So I'm going to give it a font size of 0.6 rem and a color grey lighter. Oh, it's actually text, grey text. And also I have to add it to the component, of course. Let's do cookies. Also, I'm using AirNet, which allows me to do shorthand and load HTML elements by just doing .class name, and then it'll just automatically do it for me, which just saves loads of time. Let's just do two spans for now. Cookies and I think it's privacy policy. So with these spans, we want them to be block. So that's going to put them on top of each other. Let's do text line center. And then we might need to actually make this a flex. So let's just try it out in the browser. So on the navbar, let's make display. Let's put it as display flex direction column, and then on cookies, let's just do margin top auto. This is going to bring it down to the bottom, and I think it's because, let's see what's happening. Okay. So that navbar is actually going behind this. Is it because of the padding, maybe? Okay, so on navbar, let's just change the padding from 10 pixels to 10 pixels top, 10 pixels side, not bottom. That hasn't fixed it. Yeah, it's giving us the same issue. There's probably some of you dying now watching me because you know how to fix it. It might be because of actually the browsers. Let's see, if I just do minus 95. No, what am I doing? Okay, I'll just do a hack around there for now. I'll do calc 100% minus 10 pixels. It'll click with me in a bit what the problem is. Or someone can leave it in the comments to let me know. So let's go back to the cookies and just do padding and rem. I'm also using like a mixture of pixels and rems here. I just realized, but yeah, this isn't going to be going into production or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, we want the music controls to be positioned above anything else. So let's add, excuse me, Z index to position your relative, so that's going to bring it above everything else. And let's Let's see what else we can do now. So I suppose we could style this main section here. To do that, I'm going to go back to the main application.js, app.js, do a main div, component, sorry. I'm going to import main, and then in the same file as components, I'm just going to duplicate the nav, call it main.js. I'm going to call it main, then you've got this sort of, does this appear on everything? Yeah. You've got this sort of like navigation, it's not navigation, but it allows you to log in and stuff at the top. And that's 56 pixels high. So let's just do, let's call it up and nav. I'm not the best at naming things, as you can probably tell. And let's just double check the color. Okay, let's just do grey nav. And do upper nav, background, grey nav, height 56 pixels, width 100%. And let's save the main component, and let's just put dummy text in there. Now let's just check where it's loading that div. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to set up to display flex. Yeah, so we need to set display flex on app, and then my Loom stopped recording for some reason, so I had to restart it up. Let's do width. So on main, div.main, we want to put width 100%. And then in upper nav, let's do display flex again, and do align items center. So that's going to bring everything in line in the center. And color white. I don't know what is this. Okay. And let's just add a bit of padding as well. Whoa. I'm not sure what I did there. 7 pixels. Actually, let's just do this in rem because I seem to have done every other padding in rem. Let's see. I think that will do for now. And then let's get this text in. This is going to be a component in a bit, but for now, let's just do a class name. Main content. This will be the h1 tag, I think. Uniquely yours. Main content. h1. Font size 1.5 rem. Let's just do color white and everything. And also let's just do a padding on main content. Yeah, let's do padding on main content of 2 rem. So hopefully it'll be lined up with the upper nav text. Yeah. And let's just do 1 rem, 2 rem to bring it up a bit. I'm going to do font size 1.8. And maybe let's bring that upper padding down a bit more. To maybe 0.5 rem. And let's get this sort of card in. I think it's a card. I call it cards wrap, and this is going to contain like the multiple cards, and then let's just do a card inside. And we want this to have like an image. So let's do card image and do card content. And for the image, let's just go to Unsplash. Let's see what. I think this looks Spotify-y. So I'll just put this image in. And let's do cards wrap. And let's do card background grey lighter. Border radius. What did I use earlier? Let's do 10 pixels for now. Image. No, I think it's card image. Let's see. Height of 108 pixels. Let's just do 110 to round it off. And image width 100%, height 100%, to do object fit cover. So that's gonna like sort of, if you've used background cover before, it sort of like stretches it out. No, it doesn't stretch it out, but it centers the middle of the image in the middle of the div. And we need to do a width on this element. So a width of 200 pixels. Overflow hidden for now. And then we want to put a padding to 25 pixels. And let's just go back into the main to liked songs. It's a bold font. Let's just do H3. Card content or card text? Card content. Some padding on it as well. Way too much. 0.4. I'm just guessing these units, by the way. Actually, let's make this image height of 160. And the width is, yeah, it is 200 pixels. But this font size is actually much smaller. Let's do 0.4. Whoa. I think the font looks a bit different because obviously it's not the same font, so they've also got it's like some sort of drop shadow. Yeah, let's just pinch their block shadow. Ooh. Okay, that looks a lot better. I kind of feel like ours is what he did in theirs though. Let's just do let's bring the width down to 180. I think that looks more on mine. And I think I'm going to take this box shadow and apply it to the div itself as well. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here now, and I'm just going to have a break, and then the next step I'll probably finish off the styling and do some of the icons and stuff. So yeah,